Good morning, garden hobbyists. Today I've got loads to do. We're going to plant some garlic, we're going to plant some onions, we're going to talk about no-dig beds and how to top them up and prepare them year on year on year, and we're going to talk about composting. And lastly, towards the end, we're going to talk about a little project I'm going to run with the onions. So watch on through. I hope there's loads of content here for you. Let me know what you think. Comments, like, all that stuff. See you soon. Job number one is out with the old and in with the new. You can see here, clear, empty weedless beds. They are no-dig beds, so they are dead easy to weed. And what I need to do first is top them up. So I've got some compost here. I'm going to maybe put about an inch on top of each bed. I've got 6 bags, so that's 50 litres per bag, so 150 litres per bed. Now, hopefully, this will be the last time I have to do this, because if you come this way, what I'm trying to do is make my own, and that's obviously super trendy, but that's also save me money. So I built this last winter. Come over here to the back of the garden and you can see we've got a compost bin. This is the one I finished with. This was up here somewhere and now it's settling down, and I'm starting to fill this one here, and this is my turning bay there. So I'm hoping by spring we'll have plenty of compost. I don't buy anymore, that's the idea. But for now we've got to crack on with what we have, which is a shop walk compost. Come back into the garden this way. Excuse the rubbing around, but it's a bit of fun there. Tracks in the background there as well. Now, job one, I'm going to open the bags, put the compost on and give it a good rake over. So let's get that done. Okay, so that's the compost out of the bags and spread. I'll show you on the camera there. We've got, there you go, nice flat and level beds. Now the next thing is to plant, and I'm going to go to the greenhouse first. I want to show you a little bit about the garlic bulbs, what to do, etc. If you've never planted garlic before. And I've got a little idea for an experiment this winter, so we're going to start that off as well with the onions. Let's go. So I'm in the greenhouse and I've shut the door because it's a very noisy tractor outside, so I can hear myself. Now, what I wanted to show you was garlic. Now, normally I save one of my several of my garlic from last year, but there were pitifully few this year because the rain was so bad last autumn. A lot of them were washed out, and basically the crop was rubbish. So I've started again. It's a shame, but lasted a good, I don't know, 4 years. And I bought 4 of these. So these are obviously garlic bulbs. And I've gone for a variety called Top of the Drome, which I've never tried before. Apparently it's a French garlic. I'm very excited. Now, here we go. So when you plant garlic, you get a bulb. You don't plant the bulb, because what you want to do, and garlic's great because you don't have to worry about seeds with garlic. You break the garlic bulb open. I can do that quickly, I'll show you. Right, now it took a wee second to get that open. So here we go. Hope you can see it okay. These are the garlic cloves. So exactly the same as when you're cooking. You break down the garlic bulb into its cloves. It's the garlic cloves you plant. So rather than go back to seeds, you can plant a clove. And what will happen is this will split and grow into a new bulb as long as you get cold frosts, which is why we put them in the ground in October, because they can get established, start growing. Through the winter, cold frost, they split and they grow again in the spring, and you end up with garlic bulbs come June, July. That's garlic. We'll plant some in a minute and I'll show you. But for now, I want to look at the other project, which is the onions. Now, I'm going to plant the outside too. There's 2 different ways of planting onions. And to be honest, I've tried both and had varying success. Now, normally what I find works best for me is starting them off in here in the greenhouse. Although I tend to do that in January, and then planting them out in the spring when they're already established plants with a sort of yay better growth on the top. I might do that if this doesn't work out. But my experiment is this: I'm going to start them now at the same time as the garlic. I'm going to plant some here, I'll show you a second. I'm going to plant some out there at the same time, and we're just going to see. I've got a big bag of bulbs here. These are Autumn Champion, and it says they should be sown. Doesn't say. Now, so we're going to whack them on the ground, and I'm going to say I'm going to plant some in here, some out there, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Just take the camera off the tripod there. There you go, so we can see the garlic over there, and here are the onion sets. It is so easy. Onions, here we go. Now with an onion, it's super, and the garlic's same actually, it's super easy. You've got the top, which is the pointy bit, and the bottom you can actually see a little bit of root. That's the bottom. Now, it sounds obvious, but all you have to do is plant it root down, and all I do is push them in a little bit, like that. So I'm going to put a whole load in this bag. Now, when you read about bulbs, it says you should plant a bulb 2 to 3 times at depth. Yesterday I planted some bluebells, and that's exactly what I did. But today, onions and garlic, I never do. I always plant them just so the neck is just visible at the top of the plant. Now, I don't know if you go to horticultural school, they tell you that's wrong, but this is what I've always done, and it works perfectly fine for me, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll come back in a second with the tray. There you go, so the tray's filled up, nice and close, you can see. They're pushed in to the bottom of the module. I think I will actually put a bit more soil on these in a minute, but you get the idea. So I'll leave them here for probably a month. Obviously in the greenhouse, it's warmer than outside, it's still got tomatoes in here. So they will sprout, and when they get to, well, they're yay big, they're at above the tray, I'll try and put them out. So I guess it's going to be late October, maybe early November, and I'll see how they get on. Okay, so I've got the garlic in the tray here so I can find it. I've done a quick count up, I've got 36. I'm going to put in 4 rows, and I'm going to put 9 bulbs in each row. Spacings, now I'm sure there's an official spacing, but it will depend on how big the bulb is, and obviously these are quite big, so it's probably something like 2 to 3 inches, but quite frankly, the best advice I ever had was reading a book by Monty Don, legend, and he said just make sure you can get a hoe in between your onions and garlic, which is great advice. Now obviously with an no dig bag, I don't care, because I can easily pick out the weeds anyway. So I'm going to put them in 4 rows by 9, however that looks will do for me. So really don't worry about some of the official stuff. Obviously don't overfill your bed, because then the plants will compete with each other, but largely, don't worry, just get it in, have fun. So that's what I'm going to do now, planting, just the same as we did the onions a minute ago. Remember, pointy bit to the top, is that okay? And then the root to the bottom. You would have seen it when you broke the bulb open, so it's pretty obvious. And all I do, I'm just going to push it and firm it into the ground. I'll show you. Okay, so bulb here, we're going to simply in the ground, and because I've put compost on there, the ground's nice and soft. That will do. I just want to show this before I carry on too much, because as always, I changed my mind as I was doing it. I've laid out the garlic, so you can see, that's so I can get my spacings right, so you can see them in the grid. And in the end, I went for rows of 5, because there was space, it looked better. I lay it out like that as a grid, so I can see where the previous bulb was, and then I can just push them in the ground. That's the easiest way of doing it for me. Okay, so garlic's in. I've done exactly the same thing with the onions. I put in 3 rows this time, because I'm going to save the other half of the bed for the onions that are in the greenhouse over there. So I'm going to bob those in, and just the same again with the onions again. Remember, we've got the root end and the pointy end. So root end will go, root end will go into the ground just like that. And so the top is just under the surface level. I'm going to firm them in, because I don't want the birds digging them up without any growth and stuff. This will take 30 seconds and I'm done. And we're done. So both beds are now planted out. We've got onions in this one, we've got garlic in this one, and that's me done for the day. If that was interesting or useful or whatever, click that like, and please do subscribe, because I'd love to build this channel up to that 500 or 1,000 followers. We're at 250 or thereabouts now. So yeah, do that, and I'll see you next time. Have a great Sunday. Today's Sunday. Have a great day. Bye.